This is a kind of a weird tip about how to make sure you use up your leftovers, but I guarantee it will help you.
And if you aren't eating your leftovers, the first tip is eat your damn leftovers.
It's as simple as that.
I don't know who isn't eating leftovers though. Like, are you just making food and then throwing it in the garbage?
I think people are.
People? Are you doing that? Because you need to stop doing that.
Okay, so here is the tip. It's a simple one. I do admit it's weird though.
Okay, what is it?
Do not put your leftovers in Tupperware containers, aka food storage containers.
You mean the containers that food goes to die? When no one eats them, they end up throwing the container out entirely because it's got moldy and they don't even want to open it.
I love that you went there.
Because I know that's what people do.
It's not even just the food, it's the actual container. I've done it before.
It gets fuzzy.
Put your food directly onto a plate.
Why, though?
So not just any plate, the plate that you are going to eat the food on tomorrow.
So why do you recommend this?
Okay, so I recommend it because I think that if the food is already served onto a plate, and then you're gonna obviously put your Saran Wrap on top, but if the food is already served onto a plate, the next day when you're starving, you've gotten home from work, and you're like, okay, what am I having for dinner? It's already there for you. All you have to do is put it into the microwave, heat it up, and eat those leftovers. If it is in a container, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna see it, you're gonna see the food in the container, and you're gonna be like, even though it's not that much effort, it's a lot of effort to be like, now I gotta like take out, sometimes it's multiple containers, because if the meal is made up of different components, you're like, I gotta get a lot of that out, put it on plates. You're not gonna do it, you're gonna order takeout.
Now, you know what else I like about this idea?
What?
Certain foods, as they cool down, start to harden up, and then it makes it difficult to portion out later. So I like to put food on the plate, like my dinner plate, so the plates are ready to go in the fridge, because then say you make something like scalloped potatoes, and you put them in a plate, it's congealed, it's gross. I don't want to sit there and have to like chip out a piece to eat.
We've all been there.
And it ends up being like a big mess. If you put it right on your plate and then it cools on your plate, it looks a lot better. And I don't know about you, but if I'm eating a plate that looks nice and it's not like gross and looking nasty, I'm more inclined to want to eat it too.
I completely agree with that. You're right. When it's on the plate and it's presented in a nice way, why wouldn't you want to heat that up and eat that?
Yeah, and sometimes
when it's slopped into a container, you get stuff on the side, it's dripping off the side, then you're like, I'm wiping it, but then it's smearing the grease around. It's just gross, and that's why people don't eat their leftovers.
And I feel like for me personally, if I get home and it's late and I have to have food like right that second, if you're like me,
everybody does.
I can't even, the thought of even just being like, oh, what the containers and is this enough? And then if you're portioning it out when you make it, you know how much it's going to feed. Is it enough for one dinner for one person? Is it enough for one dinner for two people? I have to just know that the food is on the plate. It's one less decision that my brain has to make at the end of a day. The plate goes in the microwave. It's like you're getting takeout yourself. Like,
yes.
All you have to do is get yourself out a fork, which sometimes is too much as well.
Even that effort sometimes, yeah.
The napkins. Where are the napkins?
Who's bringing out a napkin sometimes?
That's just how I am at the end of a day.
Okay, but I have another one. That why you need to try this tip.
By the way, this food that you're making looks incredible. Like, I'm seeing it and being like, what is that, a rice dish? Is it a casserole?
I'm on casseroles right now.
They look good.
Okay, so another thing, they use less containers, which means there's less of a cleanup and less times you're loading your dishwasher or filling your sink up with water and giving it the old hand wash, okay?
Yeah, true.
Because if you put your food in Tupperware containers, you have to clean out those containers and put your plate in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So it actually, in a way, helps the environment.
If you want to go down that path, yeah, it kind of does.
It does? How does it not?
Yeah, no, it totally does.
It totally does.
Yeah, because
The only thing I can see, I hear someone out there being like, but you're using Saran Wrap. That's bad for the dish, or that's bad for the environment. Yeah, obviously that's not the best choice, but if it's going to make you eat your leftovers in the long run, that is better for the environment.
Yeah, good point. Very, very good point. What you could also do, though, if you don't want all these plates in your fridge, if you're like, I don't have that amount of plates, sometimes you end up using a lot of plates doing this too, and you're like, I'm out of plates in the cupboard, and I need plates for breakfast and lunch. If you don't want to do that, and you have a bunch of food in containers, and you're like, this isn't even going to make a full meal, what I like to also sometimes do is have what I call a remnant lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like a bit of scalloped potatoes, half a sausage, an old chunk of cheese, like random stuff, and they're all in containers, but they don't make a full meal. Have a bit of each of them for a remnant lunch at the end of the week, and then you won't waste them as well. Sometimes those are my favorite lunches.
I sometimes call them leftover freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
bit
just
of this,
like,
bit of that.
It's like a buffet plate that you created out of your own stuff that you've cooked all week.
Exactly. And
That's how I do buffets. I'm not the type of person that goes to a buffet and just gets one thing. I have like the ice cream, the Cool Whip, the Caesar salad, the prime rib, the potatoes, the wonton wrappers, all on one plate. You're telling me you don't do that?
I haven't even thought of a buffet, and like, do they even make
Do they
buffets?
exist anymore? I don't even know. Who's going to a buffet anymore?
Buffets are now like Blockbuster. It's over.
Are they?
I think so. Who's eating food?
Because of COVID?
Because of a sneeze guard that's protecting the top?
Did that ever protect anything?
No, buffets are over. Really helpful tip too in reducing leftovers, period, is, I know it's difficult, but try to make less food. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, I don't know about you,
you'll notice these are all for 4 portions. I like to do the cook once, eat twice.
Me too. I do that too, but it is very difficult, especially if you're cooking when you're hungry or you're trying to use something up, to make way more than you are going to consume. And you always think like, someone will eat it, someone in my family will eat it, I'll eat it, whatever. But it ends up being like 7, 8 portions, and I don't know about you, but I am not eating the same thing 7 days in a row.
No, you're right.
So make less food, then you won't have to force yourself to eat the leftovers.
Yeah, I always basically govern 4 meals. So you're cooking once, eating twice. I have a partner in my house, so I live in a 2-person household, so there's always just 4 meals on the go. And also the fact that the next day you don't have to cook at all. Speaking about the dishes again, you're not using, if you cook every single day, that's dishes every single day. You're running the dishwasher every single day. If you just cook once and eat twice, that second day, it's like less of a cleanup. It's less effort. It's less everything. To me, I don't know why people are not eating leftovers.
But if you're eating them, if it goes past the cook once, eat twice, it's over.
Yeah,
it's too much.
If you eat thrice, it ain't happening. So would you give this plate trick a try? Sounds weird, sounds easy, but I guarantee you'll experience results of eating all of your leftovers.
I do it. I'll never go back to containers.